Hello friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And recently, if you saw my last one or two videos here, you know that I've had to give up on a fish. And it's too bad because it's a very pretty fish. You can see him here. It's a Dragonblood, and of course Dragonbloods are hybrids. Sometimes hybrids are missing a screw and they can be a little crazy. This one certainly was, and was giving all the other fish, all his tank mates, a real hard time. So I've got no choice except to take him and find him a new home. So I'm going to take him over to Aquatic Critters. That's the local fish store here, closest to me here in Nashville, and I'll see if they can give him a new home. And I will definitely give him a warning. I will definitely tell them to beware of cichlids, and what I'm going to tell him is that he needs to be in a tank with cichlids that are a lot larger than he is, and that way maybe there'll be a chance that he's not going to chase everyone around and drive everybody crazy. Okay, so let's take a ride out to one of my favorite shops, the Aquatic Critter here in Nashville, Tennessee. I've got him secured in the back, wedged in that section underneath the armrest. So hopefully he'll make the trip there without any problems. And that net over the top of that enclosure will keep him from jumping out, even though I doubt he will jump. Let's get him over there right away. So here I am at the Aquatic Critter, and it looks like he made it. Take a peek at him here before I take him in. He looks good. Let's go and take him into the critter, turn him in, get him onto his new life. So this is the Aquatic Critter, the Christmas special, $13.79, 180 gallon. Nice little setup. $1,500, I guess, if you want the glass tops and the stand. You can take a look. It's a good sized store. Every time I've been here, it's been busy. They have a much nicer plant selection than the last time I was here. They're very pretty. Beautiful rainbows. They were pushing the Christmas theme here. Ribbons on a large inventory of tanks. Some specials that they were running. Not sure how their prices compare to other locations. Probably a little more expensive than your big box stores, but certainly a nice selection. Let's take a look at some of the fish they have on display. They have quite an assortment. Blush and white high-fin tetras. Up here we got some Geojuruparis. Look at these guys. I really like geos. These are cute. I know how big they get and how colorful they get. Electric blue Ochart is $16. That's not a bad price. They have a very nice selection of substrate, every color and size imaginable on this side and on the other side of this row, as well as a pretty broad selection of nano tanks like the ones you see here, very popular. I'm actually working on one myself. And of course they have a broad selection of the very popular glowfish. I noticed some smaller kids coming up to the tank while I was in the shop and just oohing and awing at the beautiful colors. Here's some AC Hecali. I have a couple of these. I really wish they had the albino variety of the AC Hecali. I've been looking for those. Those are beautiful. Would love to add some of those to the collection. Very nice fish. Color up nice. They get nice trailers on the fins. Some black skirt tetras. These are actually recommended for cycling a tank. Apparently they're very, very hardy and are often used as a first fish in a new tank. White tetras. Kind of a simple but very pretty fish. Red eye tetras. These are very pretty. Remind me a little bit of the rummy nose. Silver tip tetras. Certainly have a large variety of tetras. If you have community tanks, this is a great place. This is kind of a cool tank. It's got some of those geophagus in it. Did a little Google search. They can get up to 10 inches. Very colorful, very pretty. These are some of the larger size ones. Selling them for 30 bucks. I'd rather get some of the smaller ones actually. They had some nice cardinal tetras, $3.99 a piece. For that price, you can pick up a whole bunch of them. I've got some at home already, about 5 or 6 of them. Wouldn't mind adding some more. I've always liked rummy nose. Take a look at these guys. Very pretty. Not a bad price. More substrate here. And opposite the substrate, they have a good selection of rocks. This is where I picked up the rocks that are in the 90-gallon. There's some of those Exodon paradoxus. Type of fish that IFG has. They eat like piranha. Crazy fish. I think they're pretty aggressive. Cupids, cichlids. Little guppy collection. Very pretty guppies. $4.99 each for the males. Same price here, $4.99. This is a pretty fish that I haven't seen too often. A golden tinfoil mixed in along with some traditional tinfoils and some blackfin sharks. Very pretty fish. Wasn't familiar with that one. Below the tinfoils, they had a tank full of severums. These are the green severum variety. They can get a little bit of blue on the fins and in the face. It's a pretty severum. I have one. Noticeably larger than these guys. Tends to be a little bit aggressive, goes after the red shoulder. I've always loved the look of a puffer, their attitude, the way they interact. Maybe someday I'll pick one up. Very cute. Got to really stay on top of the tank maintenance once they get bigger and start eating those clams and stuff that they crush, which they need to do for their teeth. You can see I'm filming with my iPhone today. That's why you're getting some variations in the audio. Some of it had to be recorded over. A little selection of angelfish there. And some rainbows, young rainbows that haven't colored up yet. Pretty fish, another fish that I hope to have at some point in my collection. Some rainbows. They can be beautiful, like you saw when I first came in the store. These blackfin sharks are also really attractive. Just wonder how big they get and how aggressive they are. We've got a lot of supplies here at the Aquatic Critter. You can see they're really stocked up here with the holidays around the corner. This is just one section of their supplies. The back wall of the store is entirely supplies. Quite a bit of supplies. Pretty sure you can find almost anything you want here. Here's a red hook for about 25 bucks. Love the way he's got a black border on that hook. I guess that would be the anal fin, but it's beautiful as far as this type of fish goes. Love that red hook. Very pretty. In there with some cats. I know some of you love these parrotfish, but I've just never been able to get into them. Just the way the head kind of joins the body. Definitely looks a little bit too freaky for my taste. But I know some of you love them. And, you know, to each his own. Albino eye biter. What do you think? Would you roll the dice on a fish like that? I imagine they can be pretty aggressive, I'd imagine. An OB in there too. Some more cichlids, including some living stone eye. Look at that. That's a nice markings on that. On those little living stone eye. Got some demi compressor seps, some regular old eye biters down here. These are pretty fish. Some albinos. Mabuna. There he is in his new home. Looking pretty. They're going to sell them for $49.99. Pretty good score on their part. I think I got them for about, I don't know, under 10 bucks at PetSmart when I was first setting up the tanks. These beautiful frontoses. So cute. More rocks in this section. Real nice rock selection. Texas Holy Rock, $3.99 a pound. Well, I'll see you, buddy. Don't beat up everybody. Got some baby Venusas here. About an inch, maybe inch and a half. Good looking little guys. Mixed in with some red zebras. Not a bad price. Some yellow labs. When I had Mabuna, yellow labs were my favorite. Love the way they get that black line on their fins. Can you? In the eyes. Beautiful markings. Rusties are beautiful cichlids. They get pretty big too. $13.99 for some rusties. Let's take a peek in the saltwater area. They always have some nice corals here. Unfortunately, the lighting on these coral tanks, you can never really capture the real beauty. Very nice. Now this aisle here, they usually have some of the more aggressive freshwater fish. Let's see what they got this time. Some banded convicts for $3.99. Albino red tiger Oscars and red tiger Oscars. Tempting. Those are my two favorite Oscars, the albino and the red tiger. $14, $15, not a bad price, I guess. Some channel catfish, wonder how big they get. There's a red Oscar in there somewhere, up here in the corner. They look a little ragged. Snow white convicts. This size is pleco. I bet you it's a pleco somebody brought in. Oh my goodness, look at this Campha flower horn. $230. Boy, he came right over to say hi. Beautiful markings. Banded convicts on sale for 99 cents. I think they breed like rabbits, right? So you probably end up with, you buy 10, you'll end up with 40. And they have Salvinis for $6.99. Maybe a little baby Salvini might not be a bad idea. Put them in the 55. Let them grow out in there with the other fish. I think Salvinis are beautiful. Heard they can be aggressive, but I heard different stories. It's a jewel, $15 for a jewel fish. Big Midas, $59.99. That's a big fish. It's a blue Texas. I can get those from the Cichlid Shack. That's a pretty fish. Big red-tailed catfish. See his tail back there, how big he is. Hope they tell whoever buys them that they're going to need a swimming pool to put them in. Little green terrors for $9.99. Not a bad price. If I didn't have 3 of them, I'd pick some up. Gold spot pike, $40. Another jewel for $11. I wonder how aggressive the jewel fish are. They sure are pretty. Across from these tanks, they have a pond that they built into the shop. You can see the filtration waterfall system here. No doubt creating a lot of oxygen in this pond. A lot of water movement and filtration. In the pond, they have some beautiful rays. Look at this assortment of rays. The patterns and colors, just absolutely beautiful. Of course, I don't have anything that could accommodate something like that. In my first trip to the Aquatic Critter, I was very impressed by the way they kept their bettas. They're in a constant freshwater situation with these enclosures. So much better than the cups you see them in some places. You see this fresh water constantly cycling in. Probably the only place I'd buy a betta if I was to buy one. Really love this setup. Much more humane. The monster tanks, look at these things. Got some big cichlids in there. Looks like it's got lemon. Maybe a lemon Jake. These peacocks are 7 to 8 inches. Some of the biggest peacocks I've ever seen. There's more corals. Here's the back wall of the store. You can see even more supplies. I'm not going to get into the saltwater fish because I'll never get out of here. They're just too beautiful. Once I start looking at them, I can't stop. Look at that guy. So let's get back to freshwater. Here's a big tank of angels. Really pretty. Great selection. Some great markings on some of these. Right next to it is their collection of discus. It's a denker, a certain kind of discus that I believe has been bred to really withstand a wider range of water parameters. A little on the pricey side at about $100 each. Better make sure you've got your fish keeping together before you invest in one of these guys. Very, very pretty. Some people consider discus the sort of king of the freshwater fish. Of course, that's always a matter of opinion. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough of Aquatic Critter, and I'm coming home with a bag full of lemon tetras. The store did give me a $15 credit for the Dragonblood that I brought in, so I took advantage of their 5 for $15 sale on lemon tetras, and here they are inside of a 29-gallon aquarium where I've started conducting a planted tank experiment along with some cardinal tetras and some embers. We'll see how that goes. Stay tuned for that, and I thank you for tuning in, and I invite you to talk about this and a whole lot more on Saturdays at 11 a.m. for the cichlids and coffee live stream. That's every Saturday, 11 a.m. Central, 9 Pacific, noon Eastern. If you like the content, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you. Bye-bye.